Hey guys, it's Rush, hope we're doing well, welcome back to the channel. So this video is about where you get a super art into a knockdown and you throw a fireball. So this can be a fireball for pressure, it can be a meaty fireball, it can be a fireball to ensure you put them in burnout, so it can be where they've got very low drive and you put them in burnout. And it forces the opponent to make a decision. So the opponent may jump, they may backdash, they may wake up with a super art of their own to try and avoid the meaty fireball or the fireball pressure. But I've seen a number of scenarios when I've been playing more recently where I've done a fireball setup and I didn't know the scenario in detail, and it's led to a situation where the fireball actually beats the super art option on wake up. It can be a case where they're in the corner and I lock them in the corner and I do a meaty fireball where it will beat the wake up level 1. It will hit the meaty for plus frames and it will punish things like backdash as well. So I like these setups because they can be used to cover a number of scenarios and create extended pressure from super art. So that's a summary of what this video is. Everything isn't fleshed out entirely, it's just concepts that I want to share with you. So this first scenario is pretty straightforward. It's just an Oki scenario after level 2 in the corner. If I do level 2 and they're grounded, you can see I am plus 36. After light kick Tatsu into level 2, I'm now plus 35 I think, from that specific knockdown. And if I do a higher juggle into level 2, I should be 37, plus 37. So with all three of these scenarios, I can get a meaty OD fireball, and the setup for that is crouching medium punch into OD fireball. Now on the plus 37 scenario I'll be plus 6, on the plus 36 scenario I'll be plus 5, and on the plus 35 scenario I'll be plus 4 if that hits. That's regular hit, that's not even counter hit. But if I wake up level 1 here, I can do the same setup. I get a punish counter OD fireball in that scenario. That one was plus 8, so this is a powerful option after level 2 in the corner, which I've never really explored, and I think this is a really useful one to add to your game. So that's a very basic and simple scenario. We've seen things like this in the past, but this is another addition to that tech that I shared last time. So this scenario here, I'm going to do Super Art 3 mid-screen, and I'm going to pressure Guile with an OD fireball afterwards. The OD fireball is meaty. Now this will put the Guile close to burnout, so they're in a situation now where they're trying to avoid burnout. Here they do level 1. Level 1 is a logical thing to do in terms of trying not to get hit, but of course OD Fireball will beat level 1. You can see, not only did the OD Fireball beat the level 1, it still put him into burnout. So him doing Wake Up Super Art 1 as the guard player makes no sense there at all, because you're going to be burnt out anyway by the OD Fireball on block. And doing the level 1 doesn't change that scenario at all. You actually take damage as well and waste the bar. As a Ken main, that's what you want to be doing, and it applies mid-screen, which is really cool. We'll do the same thing now against Akuma. Unfortunately, you don't get a follow-up mid-screen after the OD Fireball, but it's still a great way to pressure the opponents in this particular scenario. Wake up level 1, and again, you can't do that. So this scenario I'm going to show you now, I've got Cammy set to do Wake Up Super Art 3 after a knockdown, but it has got a delay of 15 frames. So this is where it's not very specific. It's difficult to gauge whether this will work or not, but I have seen this happen in game a few times. So I will knock them down, but I will use Super Art 1 this time, and I'll do a light fireball afterwards. And watch what happens. Because I've set the Cammy to delay the Super Art 3, sort of replicating a reaction to the fireball rather than just raw doing it on wake up, the Super Art 3 actually loses to the fireball. But look at what I can do on reaction to this scenario. So that is a situation I actually saw in a match before, and when it happened I thought to myself, I wonder if I could pick up from that situation, and you can. I don't know how you'd gauge this in a match, how you'd predict this to happen, but I'm just illustrating that there are scenarios like that where you can get pickups from the fireball actually juggling the opponent. You can do all kinds of cool stuff if you explore your options. So I've not really looked into too much, but you can utilise Drive Rush, There's all sorts of things you can look at when you get that trade scenario. So here's another specific situation. If I do Super Art 2 against Kim, and I have Kim set to do Wake Up OD Slide, because they're expecting a fireball, you'll see if I do this nearer to the wall, the light fireball hits meaty, and I can again confirm that too. A run DP or other things as well. So I haven't fleshed these things out, but I think it's cool to know these scenarios. There could be counterplay to the fireball, like for example the Kim could do a teleport. I'm actually curious now, let me see if you can counterplay this scenario if I react to them doing a teleport when I do the fireball. Oh yeah, wow, you can fully react to that and get the run DP as well. Okay, yeah, that's kind of mad. So this is what I mean. So I do love these scenarios because you can create pressure, you can create mind games, and there's a lot of counterplay, as you just saw there with SA2. Because of the advantage on SA2, you know, you can recover from the fireball and still react to their options. So there's a lot of things to explore when it comes to Super Art knockdowns, not just with Ken, with any character. I'll really look into the hard knockdown situations and what you can set up from those scenarios to really lock the opponent down, particularly when they're close to burnout, where you're forcing their hand to do something because they're not sure on being in a checkmate scenario, or they're trying to avoid a checkmate situation or a burnout situation. So yeah, just concepts. Let me know what you think. Any questions and queries, as always, give me a shout, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.